Hello and welcome everyone. Oil and potatoes. Today must be a Friday. Today we're making my favorite recipe for fries. Delightfully crisp and crunchy on the outside, yet soft and delicate on the inside. Hopefully you will find them as spud-tacular as I do. Now this recipe is a bit more work than most fry recipes, but I promise the results are well worth the extra effort. For today's recipe, you will need several large potatoes. I am using russet potatoes today, but any starchy variety of potato will work. However, you want to avoid waxy potatoes as their water content is much too high to make great fries. You'll also need several liters of neutral oil. I'm going to be using canola oil, but any neutral oil with a high smoke point will work. So use whatever is your favorite. And lastly, you'll need 1 or 2 tablespoons of salt. Now to make my life a whole lot easier, I'm going to be using a cheap countertop electric fryer here. However, you can also make these fries in a large pot on the stove. The key is to make sure you keep the oil as close to the temperatures in the recipe as possible. If you're doing this on the stove in a pot, you'll want to have a deep fry thermometer so that you can monitor the oil temperature. Before we do anything else, we need to prepare our potatoes. I like to rinse them off with cold water and then peel them. Once the potatoes are peeled, I put them in a large bowl of water and then cut them into fries. You want the fries to be fairly large, roughly ½ an inch square or slightly larger if possible. That might seem too big to you, but you'll see why it's not in a moment. Once all of the fries are cut up, stir them around in the water to remove some of the starch. Then drain the water, refill, and stir them around once again. Keep doing this until the water stays relatively clear. Bring a pot of water to a boil on the stove. Once boiling, add the tablespoon of salt and stir. Then carefully add in your potatoes. Bring the water back to a vigorous boil and then turn down the heat and let it settle to a gentle simmer. You are going to simmer the potatoes until they are completely cooked and a fork passes through them easily. Once cooked, very carefully remove them from the pot with a strainer and place them onto a cooling rack. This is the most delicate part of the whole process as the fries are very fragile right now. On the plus side, even broken fries are delicious. So don't stress too much. Once the fries have been removed from the pot, spread them out on the tray and pop them into the fridge for ½ an hour. This is a crucial step as it removes the excess moisture from the fries. Now heat your oil. Bring it to roughly 270 degrees Fahrenheit. I like to go a bit over so that it doesn't drop quite as far when I add in the fries. This will be the oil blanching stage, which lets the exterior of the fries dry out even more and also absorb some of the frying oil. This ensures that you get extra crispy fries in the end. Working in reasonably small batches, blanch the fries in the oil. I like to blanch my fries for between 10 and 15 minutes, depending on how many I put in the basket. The best indicator is that you want to blanch them until they just start browning very slightly. When the blanching is done, remove them from the oil and let them drip for several seconds. Then transfer them back to the cooling rack, spread them out, and put them immediately back in the fridge for at least another 30 minutes. This refrigeration step removes any remaining water that may have been pulled to the surface of the fries while they blanched in the oil. Water is the enemy of crispy fries, so we want to reduce it as much as possible. Once the fries have all cooled for at least 30 minutes, you have a choice to make. You can either toss them all into an airtight container and pop them into the freezer for frying at a later date, or you can immediately heat up your oil to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and cook them up. When frying them, make sure to work in small batches. I like to fry them 1 serving at a time. You are going to want to fry them until they are crispy on the outside. The length of time and the final doneness are entirely up to the cook. I generally find about 4 to 5 minutes works well for me. Once they reach your preferred brownness level, place them on some paper towel to remove the excess oil, and then either serve them immediately or place them on a cooling rack to keep them crisp. Here we have them, the delightfully crispy and crunchy fries with a soft, delicate interior. These fries are fantastic on their own, with some beer-battered fish, or in other dishes like poutine. Now, if you're not convinced that they're delightfully crunchy on the outside, let's do a taste test. Pretty sure my microphone picked that up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit the like button and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. These fries are the single most important ingredient in my poutine project, so be sure to keep an eye on the channel for that video, which will be coming soon. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.